Good evening. Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show. A show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. So here we are on our series, Rock Greats Who Thrilled Us but since have passed on. Episode 58B. This is the second parter. Tonight we're doing Martin Birch, a great producer, and Eddie Van Halen, the legendary virtuoso guitar player from Van Halen. So anyways, as you know, those who pass first go first. So in this case, Martin Birch passed first, so he's going first. And then, of course, at the end, I will do the second half of the honorable mentions. And okay, so first with Martin Birch, he was born December 27th, 1948 in Woking, Surrey, Woking, Surrey, England. He died August the 9th, 2020 at the age of 71 from undisclosed. They never stated what the reasoning was for his death. Music, rock, heavy metal, and hard rock. He was a producer of records, basically. That's what he did. He was a record producer from 1968, and he retired in 1992, which means that he's not a rock musician because they never retire unless they're almost dead. Then they might retire. He produced quite a few people. Deep Purple and all of the members of the band's solo albums like John Lord and Ian Pace and Rainbow and Whitesnake, almost all the Whitesnake except for the 87 album, which is kind of different. He also produced Fleetwood Mac. He produced some of Peter Green's stuff as well. Black Sabbath. There are two albums with Dio, Heaven and Hell, and Mob Rules. He did both of them. Iron Maiden, almost all of Iron Maiden stuff up to his retirement. Blue Oyster Cult. The only Iron Maiden album he didn't was the first one. That's right. So he produced from Killers up till he retired in '92. Blue Oyster Cult's Cultosaurus Erectus and Fire of Unknown Origin, which is one of my favorite. As well as many other people, like lots of different people. Jeff Beck, there's all kinds of them. Like he was a prolific producer, and he is really good at it too. Most of the stuff he produced are albums I own and love quite a bit. Very, very crisp production. Knew how to get the best sound out of all of the albums that he did. And so I have nothing but admiration for this guy. I don't normally pick producers. I have picked a couple in the past, but he had to be on this list. He's just produced so much really quality heavy metal and hard rock music. Okay, so for number 2, of course, legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen of Van Halen. And Van Hager, if you prefer. Eddie was and is a great guitar player. A virtuoso means he developed a style of music emulated by so many different people. Now, I have to admit, personally, I love the way Eddie plays guitar. I think he's a great guitar player. Especially his acoustic abilities are underrated, I think. His style of playing electric guitar suited him and was really kind of awe-inspiring to watch. But some of the people that imitate him are not so good, in my opinion. He was born January the 26th, 1955 in Amsterdam, Netherlands. He died August 6, 2020 in 65, coincidentally in Santa Monica, California, the same place as Neil Peart. Music was hard rock, heavy metal and glam metal. I don't know how much I think of that as heavy metal, but you know, some people think the first album for sure is heavy metal. I'm not going to argue with that. He was a guitar and keyboardist. Excuse me. Active from 1964 to 2020. Family members, of course, his brother Alex, who is the drummer for Van Halen, and his son Wolfgang, who took over bass for Van Halen later on in their career. And he was married to Valerie Bertinelli, star of that TV sitcom One Day at a Time. I think that's what it was. I might be wrong. I don't know. Anyways, Eddie was an incredible guitar player. We knew that was going to be the case right from the beginning on Van Halen 1 when he started out with Eruption. And all we could think was, what the hell was that? You know, unbelievable. I think he was the kind of guy that had the same kind of impact as Jimi Hendrix did when he first came out. People were just wowed by his abilities, and that's the same thing that Hendrix experienced. Now, in the case of Eddie Van Halen, he learned every note Eric Clapton played verbatim, but he did say that he felt that he was more like Jimmy Page, reckless, a bit of a reckless. And I love Jimmy Page's guitar style. It suits Van Halen. I mean, it suits Led Zeppelin very well. Perfect for them. I think these two are both the same. I think Led Zeppelin without Jimmy Page, I don't know what you get, but you don't get Led Zeppelin. Same thing with Van Halen. Van Halen without Eddie Van Halen, I don't know what you get either, but it isn't Van Halen. But both of them were very dominant in the sound of the music of the groups that they played in. And I think that Eddie Van Halen might have been, in the end, a better guitar player. I might take a bit of a slap in the face for that, I'm not sure. But he definitely was in the same league. Like, you know, he's right in there with among the very best guitar players. And certainly the very best of the guitar players of his time period, for sure. They wrote many great songs on those Van Halen albums, especially the early on ones, where he did play quite a bit of acoustic stuff too, which, you know, he's not given enough credit for. It's always about his electric ability. In the case, he's very good with the acoustic guitar as well, and doing a lot of kind of bluesy, classical, and jazzy bits as well. Unfortunately, he passed far too young, if you ask me. Throat cancer killed him at 65 years of age. That's too young. I don't think you'll see anything from Van Halen anymore. I can't imagine Van Halen continuing without the main guy. It just, to me, Eddie Van Halen is Van Halen. I mean, I love David Lee Roth. He's one of my favorite vocalists, and I think that Van Halen is better with him than without him, but I don't think you can replace Eddie Van Halen, or Edward Van Halen if you prefer. Anyways, I think he's great. I loved him. Fantastic stuff he did, and just super confident. And anyways, I have now to do my honorable mentions, the second half. So I flipped it over, so we have, make sure I got it right here. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Pamela Hutchison of The Emotions, Lee Kerslake of Uriah Heep, and later of Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, Lee Kerslake, like him a lot. Tommy DeVito of The Four Seasons, Helen Reddy, of course, a big singer, you know. Spencer Davis of the Spencer Davis Group, Ken Hensley, the big guy from Uriah Heep, as well as Lee Kerslake, both of them gone there, eh? And then Altu Reed of the Blue, Bob Seger and the Silver Bullet Band, and of course, I don't even know what that is. Anyways, I did something very unusual. There just so many of them passed this year great country stars. I'm not a huge country western fan, but there was an unusual number of fairly legendary country western singers that passed this year, and I wanted to give them kudos. Kenny Rogers, Charlie Daniels from the Charlie Daniels Band, Mac Davis, that country western singer that had his own TV show that I watched a lot as a kid because I was forced to, because that's what my parents liked. And of course the great Charlie Pride. So some fairly significant country western stars as well died. Normally I wouldn't say too much about the country western side. I tend to stay away from it, but when you get this many passing, it's pretty hard not to. So there you have it. Episode number 58B from 2020, and honorable mentions as well. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe. This episode will appear tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Monday morning, and I hope you will enjoy it. So there you go. So I wish you all a good night and a good rest, and enjoy the show in the morning. Bye.